The Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers plays significant role in developing solutions for the problems of planetary health. To carry on with the affairs of the institution, the 14th National Chairman and excos were inaugurated. Present at the momentous occasion held at Neca House, Alausa, were engineers, the President, National Society of Engineers, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment, past and present chairmen of the association, family and friends, and well-wishers. The outgoing chairman, Niee, Session Odukoya, welcomed all and sundry to the occasion, while he highlighted the achievement recorded during his tenure.
This morning is a privilege for me to witness the end of a journey that I started 2 years ago. Many started and they did end well like this. They were not able to hand over, but it's not just by making, but the grace of God upon my life. So please help me celebrate God for this great occasion, for making me to sign out at this present day. Well, my welcome address goes to us. It has been a wonderful experience since I took over the mantle of leadership of the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineering in January 2022. I knew how challenging it could be running this division like at this institution across the nation, across the globe. And I cannot but appreciate the effort of the state chapters, the national ESCO, and every member of this institution that supported me during my time. Well, if you're talking about from east to west, north to south, east to west, yes, even across globe, proud privilege to visit Manchester during my tenure in London to see our members there. So it was a great challenge. It takes good effort to organize professional programs such as those we have held in Grand Style the last 2 years. Both online, which have become part of us, and also an hybrid in some cases. So despite the challenges in this world economy, with the obvious fact, all the field of engineering impact in the environment, we have the potential of largest division of the Nigerian of Engineers. In further to this level, our division has, in the last 2 years, been able to deepen its role in engineering development of our great country through all our vibrant chapters, while celebrating equipment numbers of distinguished professionals as fellow of this institution. What a privilege. It was a part of such amazing institution filled with such amazing, wonderful, and resourceful people, determined and to create and maintain a sustainable environment. I enjoy working with my team all through my period, know the harmony, and enjoy peace during my tenure. And that is why we're able to achieve the the achievement that we have. So, I'm fulfilled, being part of it might be small, but I'm fulfilled. And the latest thing is to take the next handover and take the activities to the next level by incoming chairman. So, we are blessed with many people who have so many ideas and ready to strengthen the division in a proficient manner, and we are ready to ensure we sustain the eco-friendly environment that we have started building. At this point, we sincerely draw the attention of the incoming chairman to the need to expand our frontiers by creation of more chapters, both local and international, while connecting to the private sector for more collaboration towards building an eco-friendly and sustainable environment. Can they give the 14th National Chairman, Engineer Nureni Obuyemi, MNSC, MNW, all the support required. So I rise to join my competitors who are mentors to us in these divisions. While thanking and appreciating all you again for once again for coming, please accept my assurance of utmost regards always. NIE towards sustainable environment. Engineer S.A. Udukoya. FNSC, when I was starting, I didn't start with FNSC, and I ended with FNSC. FNSC, FNW, that's in my heart. Thank you very much.
The President, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Margaret Oguntala, expressed confidence that the incoming president has what it takes to steer the affairs of the association. She extensively explained the theme of the meeting, Food Energy Nexus, their impact on global warming and flooding.
And it is my pleasure really to be here as chairman of this event, being the inauguration of Engineer Nureni Adegboyega Obuyemi MNSC as the 14th chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. There is no doubt that the election of Engineer Obuyemi to steer the affairs of the institution derives from the confidence of the members in his capabilities as a thoroughbred professional. I am confident that with the support of every member of this division, NIE will achieve a lot under his leadership. On the topic of today's lecture, on the topic of today's lecture, which is global warming and flooding impacts, food, energy, and water nexus, I will say that it is indeed a testimony to the fact that the leadership of NIE is truly forward-looking by aligning the division's programs with the global objectives of the society. Global warming and its attendant consequences for food security is a burning issue across the globe. Specifically in Nigeria, it has heightened the competition for grassland between agrarians and pastoralists in our countrysides, leading to regular conflicts that often result in complete annihilation of communities in some areas. It is also with due consideration for the dire negative effects of climate change on food security that the Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers approved the theme for the 2024 National Engineering Conference as Sustainable Engineering Solutions to Food Security and Climate Change. And that is why I said earlier that the NIE is well aligned with the objectives and programs at the national level. I have no doubt that our guest lecturer of today, Engineer Professor Ifeadewumi, FNSC, an erudite and accomplished academic, will give us enough nuggets to chew on with regards to solutions to the perennial problem. I therefore enjoin us all to listen to him attentively.
We have issues of global warming, and I've tried to see how to summarize that. The major impact on the environment, especially in the atmosphere, is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and some chemicals that affect the ozone layer. And once this is affected, it allows large quantity of radiation to hit the Earth's surface and melt the ice caps, and therefore there will be flooding. Now, Ayetoro community is a seaside community in Ondo State. Recently, that community has been submerged because of high rising water level along their area. The majority of them have been relocated. And in the majority of urban communities where proper sanitation is not observed, domestic and city waste are washed into waterways during rainfall. Some residents also deliberately bring out their refuse and dump them into drains. Some buildings are also constructed in waterways, thus blocking the flow of runoff and causing flooding of communities. Proper disposal of waste is important, especially plastic waste need to be collected and recycled. Now, the slide we are looking at is the Port community in Rivers State. And the next slide shows 3 major areas. From that particular picture, you see emissions into the atmosphere. When I was working in Bayelsa State, there is a daily burning of fossil fuel. The gas that should have been piped and to communities to reduce cost of cooking gas are flared every day, 24/7 all around. And all this contributes to global warming. And you will also see that refuse are dumped along that waterway. After some time, this will be washed into the sea, into the beach, and then affects the lives of aquatic lives. Recently, people have been finding plastics in fish they buy in the market, microplastics, and so many other problems that relate with pollution. Now, recycling of plastic waste is one major area and method that we can use to reduce global pollution. If we pass through refuse dumps along the highways and some other locations, you see refuse being burnt every day. And majority of these are plastics. And some people will collect those plastics and resell them to those who recycle. But unfortunately, some of those plastics that are collected, some will have urinated into it, some will have used them to prepare concoction, and those who want to buy peanut along the highway does not know what has been the content of that bottle before. And this is why we need to be very careful when we buy things along the highway. The plastics can be recycled into interlocking paving bricks, and this can be used in reducing pollution. Some of my students in the past have worked on, can we make lining for sand fields by using plastic mixed with clay and some other things. And we found that about 3 to 5% of plastic mixed with sand can give a very impermeable solid material that can be used even in construction of buildings where there is water logging. One can use that type of block that is made with plastic to do the foundation. It will not degrade and it will be very solid. Now, the plastic recycling into paving bricks above is done in heated drums to melt the shredded plastics. It's good technology to reduce pollution, but unfortunately, most of those who use that local technology will not have protective equipment. They will not cover their nose, they inhale some of those fumes, and over time, they begin to have very serious health challenges, especially respiratory diseases, pneumonia, and some other problems. Here is a garden that is made with recycled plastic in Europe. Recycled plastic, instead of burning it. There was also one man who came from the US and then in Guinea decided to construct a water hotel near the beach using plastics as buoyant materials for his project. Now, the food, energy, water measures of environmental degradation, almost all engineering activities relating to construction, exploration, mining, all contribute to environmental degradation. For instance, when dams are designed and constructed to impound a perennial water body, the reservoir created behind the dam covers ground that are being used as farmland or housing community. And such places people in that location will be displaced and have to be relocated. The borrow pits and other materials transported from other locations to some sites result in land degradation. However, if the common good, looking at the benefits, outweigh the impacts, the project will be done. Such borrow pits and quarries eventually reduce land resource that would have contributed to food production.
The high point of the event was the oath of office, which was conducted by the outgoing chairman.
So, I'll go with the citation. Engineer Niee Adegboyega, MNSC, FNIE, was born in Ayeyemoro Olofin Otigun compound in ancient town of Ile-Ife, Oyo State, Osun State, on 19th February 1969 to late Pa Awal Adereti Ogunyemi, an Islamic scholar and university civil servant, and also to Alaja Selimot Abegbe, apologies for that, Ogunyemi, a tailor and a trader, Niee Adegboyega Ogunyemi, attended Ansarudin Primary School, Ogbon-Agbara, Ile-Ife, 1975 to 1981. He then proceeded to Community High School, Ondo Road, Ile-Ife, 1980 to 1985, for his secondary education before completing it with St. Peter's African Church Grammar School, Obiokun, Ile-Ife, 1986. He proceeded to the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, where he backed a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, 1997 to 1996/1997. His working experience, engineer Niee Adegboyega, after serving his fatherland during NYSC between 1997-1998, he joined Narawe Nursery and Primary School, now called Larawe Ikorodu, where he supervised various building projects embarked upon by the school between 1998 till 2000. Engineer Adegboyega later moved to Oxford International High School at various capacity, e.g. Building and Project Committee. He is happily married to his heartthrob, Alaja Kafilat Olabisi, and they are blessed with children. Join me in welcoming the 14th National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, Engineer Nureni Adekwega Oguyemi, congratulations, sir.
Hi, Engineer Nureni Adekwega Oguyemi. Do know, having become the chairman of this institution, the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, solemnly swear that I will defend and uphold at all times the memorandum and articles of association of this institution in all matters that derogate by her in accordance with the provision of the said memorandum of article of this society. Yes, I do. I promise to undertake and promote the objects of the institution at all times. Yes, I do. I promise to conduct myself always on all engineering matters in accordance with the institution and lay down code of ethics and conduct. Yes, I do. I promise to look after the interests and the welfare of all my fellow engineers and members of this institution. I promise to meet all obligations to this institution and serve selflessly to the best of my ability. Okay. And before everyone present at this investiture ceremony, I pledge an article of the Association of Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers to conduct my engineering practice with discipline, sincerity, and fairness, and to show interest in the affairs and welfare of my fellow engineers and members, so help me Allah.
I would like to inform the
The chairman, NIEE, Nureni Oguyemi, speaks on the genesis of the Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, assures of his commitment to take the association to the next level, counting it as a rare privilege to serve.
All the elders of the Institution of Nigerian Institute of Environmental Engineers in attendance, the environment family, Office of Drainage Service and Water Resources, my family, Oguyemi, Adedire Oguyemi family that I am present, the head of our family in Lagos, Honorable Sola Juma Lawal, my mommy, Mama Selimot Abegbe Oguyemi, all my professional colleagues that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. This is my inaugural speech. To God be all the glory, the most merciful, the most benevolent, and the most beneficent. He is the creator and provider of all things, before and after which there is nothing. God has been fair to all, and for that we are ever grateful. It is with my great delight I appreciate all our invited speakers here and distinguished guests, NIE elders seated in this hall, as well as all members of this environment family. You are all welcome to today's investiture and inauguration, in which the impact of food, energy, and water nexus on global warming and flooding has been discussed extensively. The Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineer, a division of NSE, was founded on 12 February 1995. At the forefront of this environmental engineer was the indisputable founding father of the institution, Engineer Chief Samuel Olatunde Fadausi, FNSE, OFR, CON, the 5th president of NSE between 1968 and 1969. Since 1995 to date, this institution has been led by great environmental engineers. I am simply humbled to be the 14th national chairman of this division that has accomplished much within the space of time and has come to stay within the Nigerian Society of Engineers family. The past 30 chairmen, their executive members at the national and state chapter levels, numerous members and friends of the institution have worked tirelessly to keep the flag flying so as to make the division relevant. I stand before you today with a deep sense of gratitude and responsibility as I take on the role as the chairman of this esteemed organization. As I rose from the position of food soldiers, ordinary member of the institution, to the position of the chairman. I am honored to serve in a capacity that allows us to address some of the most pressing challenges of our time. The integrated interplay between food, energy, and water, and their profound impact on global warming and flooding. As we gather here, our world is undergoing profound changes. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is a reality that we must confront head on. The nexus between food, energy, and water is at the heart of this challenge, and our ability to manage it effectively will shape the future of the generation to come. Let us begin by acknowledging the intricate relationships within the food, energy, water nexus. The production of food requires water and energy. Energy production demands water resources, and water supply often depends on energy inputs. This interconnectedness is both a source of resilience and vulnerability. If we hope to build a sustainable future, we must adopt an integrated approach that recognizes the delicate balance between these critical resources. Global warming, driven by the excessive emission of greenhouse gases, is a stark reality that demands our immediate attention. The choices we make regarding the food production, energy sources, and water management directly impact our carbon footprint. As steward of our environment, we have a responsibility to adopt sustainable practices that mitigates the effect of climate change. One of the most visible consequences of climate change is the increasing frequency and intensity of flood, changes in the precipitation pattern, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events pose a significant threat to community worldwide. By addressing the food, energy, water nexus, we have the opportunity not to only reduce our environmental impact, but also to enhance our resilience in the face of these challenges. According to the United Nations, 662 people lost their lives, 3,174 were injured, 2.5 million displaced, and 200,000 houses were destroyed in 2022, all attributed to flooding. It should be on record that our institution suddenly believes and backed the Lagos State Commissioner of Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, on his monumental stance on banning the use of styrofoam packs in the state. Majority of our drilling channels are clogged due to this menace. In my tenure as chairman, I commit to fostering innovation and collaboration within our organization. We will work toward developing sustainable solutions that optimize the use of resources, promote renewable energy resources, and ensure food and water security. I encourage all members of our organization to contribute their expertise and ideas toward these shared goals. Other regular programs of Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, including EXO Father on Sea annual lecture, World Environment Day, industrial visits, etc. will continue to hold. In addition, during my tenure, I intend to achieve the following. I will continue to work and expand the NIE membership base. I will also make sure I generate adequate funds, membership due, sponsorships, and donations to acquire befitting and functional secretariats. To review the report on code and standard and make it a working tool for our institution. Re-establishment of climate change committee to ensure our institution has good representation in future climate change conferences anywhere in the world. We will continue to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to encourage and support structured mentorship programs for our young engineers. Our journey ahead will not be easy, but it's a journey we must undertake for the well-being of our planet and future generation.
In similar vein, the chairman, NIEE, conducted the oath of office session for the new excos.
To your position, having become of Nigerian Institution of Environmental Engineers, solemnly swear that you will defend and uphold at all times the memorandum and articles of the association of the Nigerian Institute of Environmental Engineers on all matters dealt with by her in accordance with the provision of the said memorandum and article of association of the society. Do you promise to undertake and promote the objects of the institution at all times?
Yes, I do.
Do you promise to conduct yourself always on all ordinary matters in accordance with the institution and lay down code of ethics and conduct?
Yes, I do.
Do you promise to look after the interests and welfare of your fellow members and members of the institution?
Yes, I do.
Do you promise to meet all your obligations to the institution and serve selflessly to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
Now read it.
Speaking with newsmen, Margaret Oguntala gives insight about the recent ban on styrofoams in Lagos State, adding that engineer Nurin's inauguration as president is coming at the right time.
Through the Nigerian Institution of Environment Engineers, we'll continue to talk to people. We engage stakeholders, we engage the citizens, through seminars, workshops, and even public lectures, so that we'll continue to educate them on the fact that they must indeed comply with the rules of the government in eradicating the use of styrofoams. We all know the dangers that are associated with that. And unless we do enforce, and I say that again, that in the end, it's the government that is saddled mostly with that responsibility. And I'm sure that Governor Sanwo-Olu is up to the task. It means business, and he will do it. Well, I think his inauguration is something that has come at a good time. It's because he is a thoroughbred professional, like I said in my speech. He's somebody who has grown through the ranks on that field. He knows exactly what to do to take the institution to higher grounds. And I have no doubt that he will do exactly that. Aligning the programs of the division of the institution, which is a division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, with the programs of the HQ. And of course, the programs of the national developmental programs for Nigeria.
Well, at this 14th investiture of our new chairman, we are going to come, as I said in his speech, we are coming up with a program on ensuring that we're going to collaborate with government. And we are ready to ensure that government, these environmental challenges are tackled and solved. We need to, because we don't resolve it, we always have heavy effect on our part. Right now, we are crying of hunger. Why are we crying of hunger? Because climate change has come something to our face, and they have a sign at our face, and we can see the climate has changed. People that even used to be in the farm are no longer there. Everybody has moved outside because of the temperature because of the temperature. The temperature has had effect on all our farmland. It has effect on our produce, and that's why we are saying, as an institution, we are ready to work with engage stakeholders, talk to the government, work with the other professional bodies, and ensure these are resolved. There's nothing we could do until we resolve it. We are not going anywhere. And you can see, like in the speech made by the professor that gave his work, he told us clearly there's a practical way for us to do it, and we have what it says. All we need to do is to look inward, like Rally put, and come up with local solutions. Like I say, if we don't develop local content on our solution, we can't get anywhere. We depend on what we can see. Even if we are depending on foreign technology now, dollar cannot allow you to bring it in. What I do so, if I want to sit down and bring out local solutions, technology that are local intent, then we can use to solve all these problems that we have at our hand.
The 14th National Chairman, NIEE, gives all adoration to Almighty Allah for finding him worthy to attain the new position. He assures of his readiness to tackle all forms of environmental issues affecting the country.
We have a lot of environmental challenges that is facing the whole world, particularly our country. That is the effect of climate change. And we can see some of the signs now that you see flooding all over. When we have a rain falling for 45 minutes, a long duration, with heavy intensity, falling down on the surface of the earth, causes flooding here and there, and so many other things. As the chairman of Environment Division, as I said in my inaugural speech, we are going to recommend to the authority on how to combat this effect of climate change. I also said in my inaugural speech that I'm going to establish the climate change committee so that anywhere they are doing a climate change conference, you can see that the last one was done in Dubai. I assure my people that anywhere they are doing it, I will make sure that we have representation in that conference. We are going to work together. I know all of them. They are going to support me. and we are going to rub ideas so that we can have a sustainable environment, especially in Lagos State, where we have flooding anytime it rains. You can see that my commissioner from the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources came up with a decision that styrofoams should be banned, and he has done it. And we, the stakeholder, the Nigerian Institute of Environmental Engineer, we totally back him, and we have assured him that we are going to support him, and we are going to play our role to ensure that this ban is complied with.
The memory of the event, which promotes the sustainability of the nation's environmental needs, will not be forgotten in a hurry.